I wonder if you remember that slightly camp performance by a man called J. Robinson. He was quite young at the time, and I think it was his first film, and he played Caligula, a little bit like a pantomime villain. Not King Rat, but Caligula! And there was a lot of shouting at the end. If you remember Gene Simmons, who played Diana, and Richard Burton in, again, one of his early film roles, played Marcellus and sort of hammed his way through it. He was spectacular. And at the end, there's a trial, and Richard Burton is found guilty of being a Christian, and he's sent off to be shot in the Royal Archery Yard. And at that point, Diana, who's been sitting next to J. Robinson's Caligula, gets up and picks up the robe and starts to move towards Richard Burton, and Richard Burton says, "No, Diana, no." And the Caligula says, "You're not on trial. There's no evidence against you." Then, "Sir, if it please you, sir, I'll provide evidence," says Diana, says Gene Simmons. "I have no wish to live another hour in an empire ruled by you. You dare to call yourself Caesar. In the past, Caesars were noble, but in you noble blood has turned to poison. You corrupt Rome with your fights and your malice." Stop! You should be Caesar, vicious, treacherous, drunk with power, an evil, insane monster, posing as Caesar. Stop it! As for me, I found another king. I want to go with my husband into his kingdom. Then by the gods you shall. And this rather wonderful music takes over. See, they're going into their kingdom. And the picture fades into rosy clouds, and a curtain descends. And that's the end of the film, the first film significantly in CinemaScope. So it does have some value. But I must say, I was reminded of this film today, partly because some of my trolls have been saying, well, there's no evidence against Alla Pugacheva's, there's no evidence against her. She has not done anything wrong. Well, that has now changed, as I thought it would. The fact is, her husband has been exiled, has been put on this blacklist by the Kremlin, and Pugacheva elected, rather like Diana, to say, well, I'll go into my husband's kingdom. I have no wish to live in this foul backwater, which is full of corruption. And now we learn Russian authorities are investigating pop star Alla Pugacheva for discrediting the army, according to Russian media, RIA Novosti. But they're also claiming that she's a foreign agent as well, and they're going to add her to the foreign agent registry. And the investigation apparently has been launched by a woman in Moscow who saw Pugacheva's statement online and reported it to the police. Of course, it was all about democracy. And Pugacheva is engaged in foreign-funded, unlawful activity, as well as for discrediting the army. Her concert director, who remains in Moscow, said that he didn't know anything about it. I want to go with my husband into his kingdom. And the emperor, because it is becoming imperial, isn't it? The Kremlin-controlled Russia is starting to become imperial. It's starting to grab territory from other lands. So I have no desire to live one further hour in a kingdom ruled by you, you monster, Mr. Putin.